Hello, book talk. Yes, I'm wearing this hoodie again. I feel like I film in it a lot, but that's what it is. Today I'm doing Steph Bohr's book recommendation tag. I'm so excited to do this. I've been like prepping for this all week. So I think it's like 15 to 20 questions maybe. And I picked out my books here. We have a lot going on. I thought my roommate was gonna be here, so that's why I'm in my room. Otherwise I would be out by my bookshelf. So my room is literally okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started before I start, like, I don't even know at this point. Okay, so my phone is gonna die. We'll see if I get through the video without that happening, but I highly doubt it at this point. So let me just close everything. Once again, I'm not prepared. Everything else is ready except for me. Okay, the first one also, don't worry about the bonnet. My hair is in braids, but they're kind of gets right now. So we're gonna get started. The first question is, a book you tell people is your favorite. Okay, so this one, just because I like to sound like super cool and intel, did I shorten intelligence? I did. I always say Indelicacy by Amina Kane. I gave this book, I think, like 4.5 stars, but it is genuinely one of my favorite books. I can't stop thinking about it. It is about this lady, and I'm also blanking on her name. I can't remember, I'm pretty sure she's an unknown narrator. I could be wrong though. But it's about this lady who is a cleaner at an art museum, but her true life goal is to be a writer. Like, that's all she wants to do is just write. And then you fast forward a little bit and she's now married, and she's like a rich person, and she seemingly has everything that she wants, but she's still not fulfilled. And this book kind of takes you along the journey of her finding a way to make herself feel whole, even though she does have everything on the surface. It's not everything to her, if that makes sense. This book is like, it's written literally like they would still be wearing this. I don't know what time that is, but I feel like it's written in this time. Maybe it's just the cover, but like I saw this and I was like, this makes so much sense for the front of it. But literally all she wants in life is to just be a writer. She just wants to have enough security and free time to just be a writer, and this man gives her that. She's a couple of friends in here throughout the book that also are kind of interesting to follow their storylines as well. You don't really get it from their perspective at all, but you do get to follow how their lives have turned out, because it does jump cut a little bit. But I think this book really just keeps me grounded, and I will recommend it to people that are not humble at all. I'm just kidding. But it does keep you grounded, because it's like you can have everything in the world and still not be happy, and I think that's what this short book tells you in a way. I don't know, it's one of my faves. I really want to reread it and annotate it because I just love Amina Kane's writing, and I love this book a lot. I'm sorry about the sirens. I'm also not going to stop because of it, so if you hear it in the background, I don't care. A book that is your guilty pleasure. Hold the phone. It's the Magnolia Parks universe. You already know. This book, Magnolia Parks, is so messy. I've tabbed it. Wait, I'm gonna break down my tabs for you. I know no one cares, but okay, so the purple is all new characters because there's a lot in this book. And then the red is red flags. The red flags are typically BJ's. The green are green flags. There are very few. I think I count 5 in this book. And then the blue is like points were made, snaps because points were made. Now, Daisy Hates, however, I read that on Kindle Unlimited, but I do own the physical copy. These 2 books are my guilty pleasure. This follows Magnolia and BJ, and they're the most toxic couple to exist, period. BJ's done some things, Magnolia's done some things to get back at BJ for the things that he's done, and it's 500 pages of nonsense, but I love it. Jessa Hastings' writing is crack, and I will say that till the day I die. And then Daisy Hates and Christian, I love their storyline more. Hate to say it, but I feel like, oh, no pun, I really emphasized the hate, but I didn't realize that there was a pun on it. I do hate to say that I like their plot line more. I really want to like Magnolia, but this book made me hate Magnolia, and I don't know why. I was just like so I was so irked with her because she like tries so hard to be perfect, and it's just like, oh my god, leave it alone, nobody likes you. I'm just kidding. But I like this book because you follow 3 characters. You follow Daisy, Christian, and Julian, Daisy's brother, and I'm just like really curious to see what happens in this timeline. They're all gang lords. So Daisy so desperately wants out of that life, but Christian, obviously, you know, he's born into it, he's roped into it as a man, he's gonna hold the power. I don't know, I really like their love story. I think there's a lot of miscommunication, which is really annoying, but I did enjoy reading this book. And if you want like a romance, it's honestly not even super graphic, like, or at all actually. None of these books have it. It's literally just about their relationships and about all the characters in this universe. So it's like all of their friends too. I would kiss it, but I don't know where this book has been. I love it. So yeah, if you're not looking for something, or not even steamy at all, like one chili pepper spice, this is a good series to read, and I love it. I love this book so much. Okay, I need to move on before I run out of storage. I'm already 7 minutes in and I've talked about 2 questions. Okay, a book that you love but everyone didn't. Oh, I don't have the physical copy of this, but I'll put it on the screen. It's the Off-Campus series. I did not like the Off-Campus series. I liked The Deal, and then it fell off really hard for me after that. And when I say I liked The Deal, I kind of half liked it. I didn't even really like Graham. His name Graham Cracker? I don't remember. I didn't even really like it. I also don't really like hockey romances. I'm not a hockey fan, so that was also like, I don't know. But everyone loves that series. Like, everyone loves the Off-Campus series. Everyone loves the Briar U series. And there's a new series coming out with Elle Kennedy. I will talk about another series that Elle Kennedy just started that I really like personally, because I just think it's like based at a prep school. So it's like another whole universe. You get everyone's perspective in one book from this friend group. And it kind of leaves you on like a cliffhanger. Every single book leaves you on a cliffhanger. And you like don't know what's going to happen next. It does have a side. The first book was more romance heavy than the second book. And I liked the second book a lot more. Like, I was so engaged and I really wanted to know what happened. So I always said this and I will continue to say this. I prefer romance as a side plot. If you're one of those people that prefers romance as a main plot, maybe this isn't the series for you. Whatever. I'm talking about a series I didn't like the Off-Campus series. That's all I have to say. I'm not gonna go into rants because I don't have that much time. Okay, a book you read the fastest. Okay, I put Daisy Hates on here because I did read this pretty fast. I read this in like, okay, for its size, I read this in a couple of days. And I work full-time, 9 to 5, and I go to school. A book that I actually read through super fast and it was really concerning was The Wall of Winnipeg and Me. And if you know Mariana Zapata, you know why this is concerning, because this book is 600 pages and I read it in one sitting. I did not move. I sat on my bed that you guys are on right now and I did not move. I read that entire book front to back, and I personally love slow burn romances. Like I said, I really like building the characters, and I think the rest of the books, not the rest, but like there's a few more that are interconnected standalone, so you get other characters from this book, and I love that. And I really love the characters. I don't have the physical copy. I read it on Kindle Unlimited, which I can also attribute to why I read it so fast, because I read faster on my phone. I actually read it on my computer because I can type the button and I can hold my computer on its side and go it's so bad, but like I hate sitting upright. I just hate it. So yeah, I read that book super fast. I gave it 5 stars. I love The Wall of Winnipeg and Me. Yeah, who does it follow? It's always the books I love that I know nothing about, but whatever. Okay, I'll put on the screen who it follows and stuff. Okay, a book that deserves more hype. Got you. Sirens and Muses by Antonia Ingress. If you like Cleopatra and Frankenstein, you'll love this book. It's based at an art school in Boston. It follows, I think, 5 characters. Okay, I was having this issue earlier remembering if it was 5 or 4. Okay, good. It was 4. It follows 4 characters: Louisa, Katerina, Preston, and then the art teacher, I forget his name, bless his heart. And you get all of their perspectives. They're all connected in some way, but like for a while they were directly connected because Louisa and Karina were roommates. They have their own relationship because Karina ends up being one of Louisa's muses. Yeah, and then their relationship progresses, and then Karina's also at the same time friends with Preston, and their relationship progresses, and then the art teacher's kind of just floating here because he's kind of connected to everyone in their own way. And I really like how things just start to unravel as you go throughout the story. They move from Boston to New York, and the characters get split up, but they're all still connected in some way. They just don't really realize it until the end. I love this story so much, and the way that it was told, I was just so engrossed in each storyline, which I can't say the same for any other book that I've read that has like multiple POVs. I bought it because I love the cover, and it ended up being one of those books that was just as beautiful on the inside. So I definitely recommend giving this a read. It's super underrated. It needs more hype. Okay, a book that deserves all the hype it gets. I'm gonna use this book for another question as well, but 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. Their love story. Eva and Shane. This book, I think, needs more hype. It had a lot of hype already. Like a decent amount, and the hype that it has is pretty good, and it does deserve the hype that it has, but it needs more, in my humble opinion. You get both of their perspectives from present and past, and they know each other from somewhere where they spent a week together, and then now you skip to present day, they have another week together to kind of rekindle their relationship, and it's just written so beautifully, and I just love every single character involved, and it's just makes me feel like I was raised in a Black community and I wasn't. Like, I actually feel when I read this book, like I'm like, yeah, like I could fit in with the crew. Oops, I know I could. I am Black. But it's just like, I don't know what I'm saying. I just feel like this is my own Black community because I am not a part of one. And I want a relationship like this. Maybe not, there's a lot of, okay, trigger warnings. There's a lot of trigger warnings in this book, so look it up before you read it. But I want their love. Present day. Am I spoiling things? I don't know. All right, we're gonna move on. Okay, a book that you usually recommend when asked to give a recommendation. Okay. I usually recommend My Year of Rest and Relaxation, especially if you're starting to get back into reading and you're kind of getting out of your I just started reading Colleen Hoover phase. Nothing wrong with that, but I know there's some people that want to progress and like see other books. I definitely recommend My Year of Rest and Relaxation. It's not super intimidating. You've seen it everywhere. You know the hype behind it. This is another book that I think deserves all the hype that it gets. It is about an unknown narrator who decides to take the year off to reset by sleeping. She just sleeps for the whole year. It's about nothing and everything at the same time, and I love it. She's so unhinged. She does not care. She's super manipulative, and it's a good book. I couldn't put it down. And if you're looking to get back into just reading just general fiction, I suggest maybe reading this as a start. A book that has some of your favorite characters. Okay, well, obviously 7 Days in June with Eva and Shane. I just finished Honey and Spice, and this is one of my all-time favorite books. It's right up there with 7 Days in June. Like, they're competing with each other. The girls better compete because I can't pick. So this follows Malachi and Kiki, and Malachi is my man. I love him. Okay, he's amazing. They're academic rivals, and can I say that? Okay, they're both in a fake relationship to kind of save their reputation. Their relationship as it grows is just everything to me, because they start off as friends. They continue to be friends throughout this whole thing because they're aware that it's a fake relationship, so they just continue to be best friends. But I love this storyline, and again, it's just like, it's another Black community that I want to be a part of. They're based in London though, which is interesting. I think they're in London. They're definitely in the UK somewhere, and I want to be there with them. I can't, but I love this book so much. Kiki's friend group is everything to me, and then Malachi is also just the best player in the whole school. Like, he's definitely a douche, like on the surface, but he's actually like a really nice, caring guy, and I think I just love this book. I think that's what it is. I'm gonna stop ranting about it because I honestly will go on, and we have some questions to get to. Okay, a book you wish you could live in. Okay, different answer. I'm trying to pick different books. I have Happy Hour by Marlo Granados. I hope I said that right. I definitely did. This book follows, I think, Ira. When I read it in my head, it's different than how I say it out loud. Issa, LOL, and her friend's name is what? Gala. So Issa and Gala, they're also from overseas, and they spend their summer in New York. And I live in New York, but I don't live in their New York, and I want to live in their New York. I love the way they experienced their summer. They were struggling to get by and were doing anything for $1, but I just loved reading about all the situations that they ended up in. They would go to different restaurants, meet different people, end up talking about random things, go to a club, end up in another place, and it just sounds like fun, and I just want to be in that world, and I'm here, but I need to be more like them. Yeah, I just love reading things from Issa's perspective. It felt like I was reading someone's diary, and yeah, I need a diary like this, honestly. So if you also are looking for general fiction to read, literary fiction, I say general fiction, I mean literary, it's such a good book. It's also, again, probably another one of my favorites. Okay, a book that you thought you would hate but ended up loving. Misfit by Elle Kennedy. This is the series I was talking about earlier. I have both books here because I pre-ordered this one recently and it just came out. But I started Misfit because Larry Reeds told me to read it, and I'm easily influenced. So I read it and I was like, if it's anything like The Deal, or what's after The Deal, The Mistake. Yeah, it was a mistake reading that. I was like, I'm not gonna like this. And I can't explain why. And I think that's just because I didn't like the boy, the main character in The Mistake. But if you are also like not into the off-campus series, this book might get you back. So this follows Sloane, RJ, Lawson, Finn. Oh, it's always that one. He doesn't really get a POV, that's why I'm like blanking. I saw it. Oh, what's his name? Silas. Woo! And Silas and Lawson are roommates. Finn and RJ are stepbrothers, and then it also follows Casey and Sloane, but you don't really get Casey's perspective because she's in this book. Casey and Sloane are sisters. So it's kind of a friend group. It's kind of not. RJ's new in town. He's the new bad boy. Everyone that goes to this prep school is kind of like, they're living hard knocks, okay? I mean, they're all rich, but they're just like problematic rich people. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, these two books, there's a kind of a mystery element because all of Misfit, you have Sloane trying to defend her sister because something happened to her at her old school, and she had to switch schools, and she ended up in this like state of depression, and her sister will do anything to defend her. And she's also just kind of has that personality where it's like macho, big, raw, and strong. So that's what this whole book follows Sloane and RJ and their relationship, as RJ is a new kid in school, doesn't really care about the rules, doesn't really know the rules, and will date the headmaster's daughter, even if the headmaster says no. So that's that type of situation. But the mystery element, when I tell you, when we got to the plot twist at the end, I was like, oh my god, the next book needs to come out now. Where's the next book? I looked at it and I was like, you're kidding me, March. I read this last year. When am I gonna get the next book? I need to read it right now. Got the next book. There's another plot twist. I don't even know when the next book is coming out, but I do need it, and I know it follows Lawson, which I'm so excited for because I'm not gonna lie, the last chapter, the last Lawson chapter, if you read this book and you read the last chapter for Lawson, tell me your theories, because I read it 4 times. I'm not kidding. I read the ending of his last chapter 4 times and I still don't know what happened. I still don't know what could have happened, and I want to know so badly. So if you have any theories, please let me know. That's all I'm gonna say. But I did not expect to like this book as much as I did. Like, I think I gave it 4.5 stars. This one I also gave me 4.5 stars. I just hiccuped, squealed, sorry. Yeah, lots of character development. I'm living for it. Okay, a book that made you cry. I don't have the physical copy of it, and it's also no longer on Kindle Unlimited, which means I can't reread it, but it's Almond. It's about this kid that has a really tiny amygdala, so he can't really feel emotions. He doesn't, well, he can't feel emotions. That's happy, sad, angry. He's just neutral. His whole life is neutral. And I went to that book completely blind. I didn't really know too much about it. I just knew that it was a lot of people's favorite book, and so I was like, let me read it. It's free on Kindle Unlimited. I cried at the end. I cried really hard, and I can't spoil it for you, but I cried. But just know that's like the basis of the story, and he's going through a lot, and while he's trying to figure himself out, other people are trying to figure out why he's so weird, and it's just like he's going through so much as a high school kid. I just really felt for him, and then the book started to pick up like about halfway through, maybe a little over halfway through, and then I was like, okay after that. But it was really sad. I'm holding hangers, sorry. Yeah, that is a book that made me cry. I don't think I've cried reading literally any. Oh, I cried at the end of my year of best relaxation. If you know, you know. I think that's it. Okay, a book you wish you could reread for the first time. I also don't have this book on me. I thought I brought it back from home, but I didn't. Yeah, I don't have it. It's Convenience Store Woman by Sayaka Murata. I wish I can get the feeling I got for the first time while reading this book, and I can't explain it. Obviously, there are books here that I wish I could reread for the first time, but I'm pretty sure through the way I've talked about them, I'm pretty sure you can tell which books I'm gonna say, but I'm not gonna. I would reread Convenience Store Woman by Sayaka Murata. It follows this lady who works at a convenience store. She's just like, she's an odd fella. She's an odd fella. She likes the way her life is. She likes consistency. She doesn't seem to really like change. And she works at this convenience store. Despite societal pressure and peer pressure, she doesn't seem to waver from what she knows she likes, and I think that's what I can really appreciate from that book. It did get a little sad at times. I was like, oh my god, like I wish people just leave her alone, but in the end I think the book made me like really happy, because I at first was like, I wish she would change, and then I came to terms with the fact like this is what works for certain people. Like, she's just one of those people that likes doing the same thing and being consistent and knowing what she's walking into every single day. Like, she had her whole routine down, and it's just the way Sayaka Murata writes. I think I'm saying her name right. It's just amazing. I also read Life Ceremonies by her, and that's a good collection of short stories, and I really like that book too, and I just love her writing. A book that cured my reading slump. Another book I don't have. I'm so sorry. This I read on Kindle Unlimited. It's Rock Paper Scissors by Alice Feeney. Sarah Caroli recommended this book, and I am also easily influenced by her too. So no surprise that I read it there. It's a thriller, and it follows this married couple that is trying to save their relationship. They go to this cabin. Things start to get a little crazy, if you know what I'm saying. Not like that. I don't know why I said it like that. It wasn't crazy like that. It was crazy like, oh, I'm scared for my life crazy. And things start to unfold. The plot twist in this book, the first one made sense to me, and then every other plot twist that came after that threw me off. I was like, whoa and whoa and whoa. I was just completely lost, and I was lost for words, and I was just like, oh, did I mention the husband has facial blindness? Yeah, he can't recognize people's faces. That whole book was messy. The wife is lying, he's lying about some things, there's a lot of things jumbled up, and you get to see if their relationship gets saved or not. A book you think everyone needs to read. Okay, so I have on here Cleopatra and Frankenstein, very similar to Sirens and Muses. I already talked about that. It really showcases 4 completely different characters, all at different stages of their life. Cleo is like 24, Frank is like 50 nearly, and then it also follows Frank's friend, co-worker, and she's like 30 but like lives with her mom. And then it follows also the chef that they're friends with, who's also at a different stage in his life. I think he's recently divorced. So you kind of get everyone's perspective. They're all going through their own thing. I think it follows one more person. I can't remember who it follows, but like I said, not every plot line was memorable or necessary, but I think it's an important book to read because you kind of understand how certain things can take a toll on people, and it was a way to get that all wrapped into a book. Like Cleo definitely struggles with a little bit of depression, same thing with Frank. I mean, they all struggle with depression. The other person, the friend that Cleo is friends with, I remember him getting into some like weird relationship and how that like you just watch him decline, and it was kind of sad to see. That was a little disheartening, but I think it's an important read. I think there's also another book I would suggest as an important read, more so than that, because that's just kind of a shit. Another important read. I was also gonna pick Anxious People for this book by Frederick Backman. I do have that book somewhere. It might be in my house, but that's about a bank robbery gone wrong, and you again get everyone's perspective because they're all like, I guess, telling the police their side of the story, because the bank robbery goes wrong and then the bank robber goes to hold up apartment showing and ends up holding a bunch of people hostage, and the whole time you're thinking about this character in a certain way and they end up being like the complete opposite of what you thought they were. Another one of those books where it's like slowly as the book goes on you slowly start to unravel certain things about the characters, get to know more about them, and then you realize, this character is connected to this character. I love the way this story was told. It kept me engaged from start to finish, and I do think it's an important read because every single character was all going through their own thing. You had the lady that was like crazy obsessed with the apartment and keeping it clean. You obviously had the bank robber that was robbing the bank for a certain reason. You had the shower. Sorry, I just worked like 9 to 5 and my brain's shutting down. That book is good. That book is a must read, and I say yes. Okay, the book you wish everyone could give a shot, even if it's out of their comfort zone. My Sister the Serial Killer. If you're not really like a thriller fan, but you want to listen to my advice, I really love this book. It follows my friend here who is a nurse and her sister who is the serial killer, and the whole time you're trying to guess like what's gonna happen. Like, will she get caught? You get Ayola and I think it's Karede. Yeah, Karede is the nurse, Ayola is the serial killer, and Ayola is the like favorite child in a way. She's super pretty, like everyone loves her. She kills her boyfriends, by the way, but she gets pretty much every man. But they get to this point where, can I even say this? Yeah, Karede has been in love with one of the people that she works with, but one day he asks her for Ayola's number, and things kind of start to fall apart from there. I would suggest giving this book a read. It's really not even that much of a thriller. I only gave it 4.5 stars. I wish the ending was a little different, but that's just because I'm me and I always want like a kind of sort of happy ending. There was a kind of sort of happy ending, but whatever. I'm not gonna get to it. Whatever. Read it. I said so. Okay, the last question. Book you'll never forget. Oh damn, a book you'll never forget. Now I really need to go on my Goodreads to see which ones I haven't talked about yet. Okay, I'm gonna repeat. I knew this is the one I actually did want to repeat for. It's 7 Days of June. I will never forget this book. Actually, I'm gonna hold these two up because I will never forget either of these books. The way these books made me feel while I was reading them is something that no other book can do. No other book will ever be able to do, I don't think. These books will forever be in my top fave for the reasons I've already listed earlier in this video. But that's it. That is my Step 4's challenge. I also added some questions from Rachel Catherine's challenge. What am I saying challenge for? Tag. But yeah, that's it. If you stayed this far in the video, I'm proud of you actually. But you should subscribe if you want, and you should like if you want. I always feel so weird asking people to like my video. Just like it if you feel like it down below. And yeah, I have a new posting schedule, so I'm gonna get on that very soon, and I'm really excited for the videos that are gonna be coming out. Hopefully I'm holding myself accountable. I really want to post more. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoy it, and stay tuned for my next video, which should be, if I'm on time, short books that you can read in one sitting and fast-paced books that you can read in one sitting, something along the lines of that. We'll see you next time.